Everyone, welcome to Sketch Day Live. Forgot to even move my mic. Welcome to Sketch Day Live. We're back. It is Friday, and not just any Friday, it is Fan Friday. That is your day to show your work, have it featured. Hopefully you've been posting in the channel for your feedback. We already have requests. This is awesome. I'm not really sure what I'm going to draw today, what I even want to draw. So I'm going to depend on you guys to give me some feedback, some inspiration, some information, and certainly direction. All right. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on alerts. If you're watching on Instagram, be sure to check out youtube.com/Discord. If you want to show, what's up, Mao? If you want to show your work, all right, you can check out sketchaday.com/Discord. Has a link for download, but also a link to the Discord itself. Before we begin today, though, special shout out to Draw JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know enough about JoJo to do that. I feel like I did a disrespect last time when I tried to do some JoJo Leon stuff, so I'm gonna hold off till I know a little bit more. But I appreciate the suggestion for sure. All right. Oh yeah, special shout out to the patrons, members. There are now channel memberships for YouTube enabled, so you can check those out. We're gonna be doing a bit of Fan Friday today, like I mentioned, so showing your work. So thank you to the members and patrons for making all this possible. Be sure to participate in the Discord if you want to do that. We had a lot of good submissions this week. So to kick things off, let's take a look at the Discord server. I do hate this about Procreate. It like takes over your system. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is a little bit of the Discord, guys. If you're not familiar with it, it's just an app you can download. It's kind of like Slack. It's a little bit like Slack, but we have here in the Discord. Again, if you're watching on Instagram, you're not going to get the full goodness, right? Unless you go to YouTube, mostly because, you know, I've got my dongle dangling here, connected and locked in. We've got the mic, we've got the setup, we've got all the good stuff on YouTube, but at least this way you can kind of see what's happening this time. So this is our Discord. So let's take a look at a couple of these. All right. Some creative solutions as always. So we give a weekly sketch challenge to certainly help us all level up. All right, and improve. So first off, we'll show Lori, one of our patrons, her sketch here of some zombies, some fashionable zombies. Creative. Lori does a lot of fashion sketching, so I like the Halloween approach there. We got mystery with the spider pumpkin. Interesting. I could do a spider pumpkin today. That'd be fun. Spider pumpkin. That would be a fun one. I also have a surprise on the stream for you guys today, so maybe we'll do a bit of a live test here. All right. Maybe we'll do a bit of a live test. Although, I neglected one thing with my live test. What's up, Sticky Art? Hello, Vicary. Everyone, hello. Thanks for joining. We do have one request on showing ellipses that increase in degree. All right. So I'm going to show that a little bit as well. Glasses, earphones, got some requests coming in. Appreciate it. All right, spider pumpkin. We got a skull with a skulltopus, I guess you could say. And a digital version. Lines. Looks like me. I think that is me. That is zombie me drawing. Oh goodness. Keep it light until you get it fright. Then we have a little monster. It feels like an anime monster, actually. Kind of like that. Sometimes they have like these grotesque things that have like crazy bodies. Ectoplasm from Boku no Hero. Yeah, feel free to join the Discord. I mean, most of what I do is product design sketching, but you know, I like to dabble. Let's see, ectoplasm from... Let's see, I'm missing that message. Ectoplasm... Oh, maybe it was retracted. I don't know. My eyes are deceiving me. Alright, I think it was changed. Anyhow, yes, Franken Spencer. Gotcha. Alright. Octoskull, weapons. I don't really like weapons. I think that was from last week. Let's see. Oh, yes, we have the worm here. Mystery. Really good job, actually, and I thought it was really cool. Way better than the one I did. Here's the final version for you guys. Just a little bit of a bookworm coming off the pages. It's pretty cool. We have Chevis with, I think, some of his son's creations, which are pretty cool. I like that. I don't know how old your son is, but it's pretty awesome. So nice work there. Noyana with a zombie, set of zombies. So yeah, if you want your work featured, be sure to submit. If you want feedback, do it during the week, of course. Join during the week. You'll be able to get some feedback. Jordan with Frankenstein taking a bath. I'll show you some of the monsters I did this week as well. Yeah, the Dune sandworm in a book. Alright. I actually love this one from Mystery. This was really cool. Like a monster marshmallow on fire. I thought the effect was really cool. So, I don't know how you did the effect. Is Mystery watching? I don't think Mystery's watching today. Oh yeah, there you are. So I'm not sure how you did the effect, but that's pretty cool. I thought that was awesome. Dune Squad, rise up. I've never seen Dune. I know. Some people are going to be like, what? You've never seen Doom? Dune? Not Doom. Not to be mistaken with Doom, the video game. Soft pastels. Okay. Yeah, that looked really good. I got a giant delivery today, by the way, of paper and some oil paint and watercolors. So we're going to be turning things up. Fired up! Here on the stream. TJ with Zardoc the Pious. It's pretty cool. And then Lori finishing up some of her fashionable zombies. Balenciaga and Saint Laurent, or however you say it. Nice work. Yeah, I like it. It was a fun approach. It's a fun approach to take something you normally do and then, make it Halloween themed or monster themed. I thought pretty good work. We got Petai Perak with a doodle here. Some sort of monster. Looks like a predator and then something else. And then Lori with her colored version here. George Lucas was inspired by Dune. Ah, okay. I'll have to check it out. Alright, bro, anime, no worries. No worries. We'll be here for a bit. Probably an hour and a half or so. So no worries. Alright, so there's some of the work. I'll check back in a little bit later. Okay, show you guys if there's any new stuff, but that's this week from Monster Mash. And then personally, did a few yesterday as well here on the channel. Did this kind of weird monster combined with robot stuff here. And also, let's see, is Mecha Art watching today? Did this hamster-like robot thing and this just chilled out dino monster bot. So we've been having fun. I think we decided the hamster was like the offspring of Pikachu and Appa, and then genetically engineered with a gerbil or something like that, if I remember correctly. I don't remember, but it has 6 legs and it has airbending abilities. That's what we did. All right, I feel like sketching on paper today, so let's kick things off with a little bit of a warm-up. Maybe we'll do some digital stuff too here and there, mix it up. But my surprise for you guys today is I did I did get an iPad Air. It showed up today. It wasn't supposed to show up till next week, but it actually showed up today. So I'm gonna unbox this. Woo! Ooh, let's unbox it. I had to buy it myself, by the way, so I'll likely be returning this, but it's here, the iPad Air. I got it because I'm curious. I was mostly curious about how this thing would compare to the iPad Pro. Whew, tight fit, of course. Full in their boxes. It's a very light box, I will say. The box itself weighs less than my iPad Pro does. Like the entire box weighs less than my iPad Pro. So hopefully there's an iPad Air in here, but it might be full of air. It's like super light. Okay, there we go. Whew. And my mistake here actually in purchasing this is I've totally spaced on the Apple Pencil. So I'm hoping I can use the first gen pencil with it. If not, I'm gonna have to order or borrow a separate pencil. But here it is, the iPad Air. All right, just for the sake of comparison, here's my Pro chillin'. Here's my iPad Pro right here. So for the sake of comparison, it's about the same thickness, right? You're not really, let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. So it's about the same thickness. In fact, let me grab my calipers because I'm pretty sure it is the same thickness. All right, so, I mean, I'm sure I can look this stuff up. I'm just being silly here, but let's see. We're at 6.05 millimeters there. Let's go ahead and undo this guy. The screen feel, I will say the screen just feel, I'm gonna get fingerprints all over this. I'll have to clean the screen later, but for when I do my actual video. But I will say the screen feels super sticky. I forgot how sticky the screen feels, honestly. Yeah, it's like super grippy. I wonder if they changed the coating on the screen. I don't know. So far it's not bent as I sight down the side of the iPad Pro. I know some of these had issues. At least the first iterations of the iPad Pro had issues in terms of being bent. Thanks for purchasing a band. Japan Beliga Draw on Instagram. Much appreciated. So yeah, it's roughly the same size. I think this is the spot for the magnet, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for the pencil. So the second gen pencil clicks in right here. We've got our Touch ID button. That's actually really interesting. I thought it was going to have a metal finish, but it's actually a white finish. This is the silver model. I always buy my Apple stuff in silver. I think it's a classic look. So there we go. This is also the iPad Pro that has the cellular connectivity because I am on the go all the time, so that's something I needed. There is no flash on this iPad, as you can see if we compare the cameras. Not that I'm ever taking pictures on the iPad. I don't know if you guys take pictures, but I don't take pictures on my iPad, so probably not a big deal. And I'm not coming at this from what should we say, a speeds and feeds perspective, where I'm comparing, okay, how many cores does this CPU have and what's the RAM, the memory. I guess the RAM does matter for certain apps like Procreate, but there it is, USB-C as well. So if you like the USB-C, you'll be happy. It's very, very thin. I forget how thin these are because mine is usually inside my keyboard case right here, and I totally forgot to measure how thick. So it's slightly thicker, 6.08. So it's slightly thicker than this Pro. I'd have to take a few other measurements just to make sure, but it's slightly thicker, but significantly lighter. Yeah, the Pro is about 6 millimeters, and that's with my screen protector on, so I suspect it's even thinner. Hello, Russia. Welcome. But yeah, the screen size is smaller, and this is why I think I would still get a Pro, I will say. because drawing on this for me would not be ideal for me personally. And if you guys want to catch the bigger view, at least if you're watching on Instagram, you can head over to YouTube and you'll see that. So it does come with this charger right here. I will clean it, sticky art, no worries. It does come with this charger, and usually they ship these charged, so I'm going to try and turn it on, see what happens. And while it's being set up, just on iCloud and stuff. So here's the button. The button has a nice clicky, responsive feel. For some reason, the button on my iPad Pro here, I think maybe I got something sticky in it or something, I don't know. Or just eating food around my iPad, which we do sometimes. But yeah, the buttons on mine, I feel like they stick a little bit. Oh, my iPad's bent. That's fun. Hopefully I don't break it live here. So yeah, these bigger iPads, particularly around points like this, they can actually bend. Okay, it's a known issue, and Apple is aware of it. So I'm not terribly worried. Plus, as soon as they release the new one, I'm gonna get it anyways. But just something to be aware of. They made them so thin that they actually bend. All right, let's turn it on. There we go. Got some charge. I don't know why they make them so thin either, because actually I like thicker, heavier, more tangible, not tangible, but I don't know. Substantial, I guess, is a better word. Product feel. Yeah, this one's a little bit bent too. So these things do bend. So, there you go. All right. So this thing, I think the MSRP is $5.99 or $4.99. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. But my intent here is to record my video, and I'm gonna return it. Yay! But let's see, iPad Air, yeah, $5.99. So this is the 64 gig version, which I would never get anyways. All right. Let's just do I really want to do this? Okay, I'm gonna do this off camera because I don't want you guys seeing all my information. But while this thing's being set up, we'll chill, we'll hang out. All right, do some stuff. I gotta make sure I don't lose all these pieces either, because what if they're like, oh, the charger was missing, we're not giving you a refund. So I'm gonna set this thing up manually. It's gonna ask for my Wi-Fi. Okay, so in the meantime, let's just warm up. We had a question about some ellipses. Alright, I had a question about some ellipses. Marzi says, I always get as much storage as possible because I regret when it fills up. Yeah, on the Pro you can get up to 1 terabyte, but so far my iPad Pro is just fine at 256. I think the next one I get will be 512 though, because I've been doing more photography lately, and I like being able to capture, store, edit, have everything on the go. Alright, we'll do another check-in on Fan Friday. I know some of you may have some later submissions as well, so I'm happy to show those here on the stream. Blessings to you too, Latrice. What's up? Glad you could join. I'm just getting a new iPad Air kind of set up here. Alright, I'm gonna have to do the automatic setup. So Apple has this cool feature, I will say, that lets you I'll hide my Apple ID there, but if you have a device, this little window will pop up and it's saying, hey, you can quick start. I can hit continue. I gotta make sure I had some stuff. All right, and then you basically take the camera, hold your new iPad up to the camera. Oh, okay, so then I just take this iPad. It's got this pattern on it, and now I can kind of target this, boom. And now it recognizes the other iPad. Now I've got to enter my passcode, it looks like. All right. It's saying finish on new iPad for some reason. All right, I'll finish that later, but we'll keep warming up here. iPhone 12 is the best. I haven't gotten the iPhone 12, but I'm planning on it. So I'll have to check that out or give you my feedback on that as well. I know some people were hoping for Apple to release pencil support on the new iPad Pro. I always think that feels a little bit awkward. Or sorry, iPhone 12 Pro. Maybe on the 12 Pro Max, I could see some sort of pencil thing. All right, looks like something went awry in the setup, so sorry I was a little distracted there. So I'm gonna have to set up later, but check back on the channel later. I don't want to waste time kind of dinking around with this thing, but I am curious about some things. I know the refresh rate is a little bit different on the new iPad Air. Even though they look the same, the new iPad Air has a better processor than my current iPad Air. My iPad Pro has. So looking forward to trying some of that out as well. All right, so let's do some circles. And then the question was about ellipses and concentricity. I guess that's the word. Doing concentric ellipses. I did some drawing this morning, so I'm feeling pretty warm already. I don't know where it went though, unfortunately. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Hopefully I didn't throw it away. Man, just when I thought I had everything together today. All right. Is there, let's see, is there an iPad for gerbils? What's up, Mecha Art? Hello, hello. Good to see you. All right, circles. Now let's talk a little bit about ellipses. If you watch the channel for some time, you'll know ellipses are, there's too much contrast for the paper. Okay, let me knock that down a little bit. See how that looks. That should look a little bit better. Okay. Should be a little bit better. Am I working on any personal projects? Not right now. Probably just photography. So the question was about sketching and doing warm-ups with progressively open ellipses. Okay. So the demo I like to give, or the explanation rather, is if I'm looking at, and this is not accurately set up, but if my eye is here and I have something like, say, a coffee cup, right, moving through space, and I lower it, okay, the degree of that ellipse, or the openness of that ellipse, right, how open it is determined by the relative position of this circle in 3D space. Because if I draw this cup I can also draw it like this. Let's just make it a nice simple cup. Something like that. All right, and if I rotate the cup and show the top of this cup, I have a circle. So looking at the top of the coffee cup at an angle is what's going to give you an ellipse in perspective. All right, so that's the first thing. The next thing is understanding a bit of this relationship. So the top of this cup as a circle, I can draw a square around it. I can divide that square thusly and make some observations. I've got these points of tangency here on the diagonals. I've also got intersection points, and this is roughly a third of the way in, roughly, approximately. So roughly a third of the way in, okay, make that observation. We also have tangency right here. Okay, just like that. So the other way to think about it, if I switch to the front camera here, you guys on Instagram won't actually catch this, but here I've got this cylinder I'll be showing you right here. Boom. So if you have something cylindrical in your space and you look at it in a way such that the top of the object now looks like a straight line, you've identified your eye level. And as I drop this cylinder like so, I now see a more open ellipse. Okay, and theoretically, because perspective is really just a system for understanding how we see things, but theoretically, there's also a 90-degree ellipse, and a 90-degree ellipse is essentially a circle. Okay, so if this went all the way, I guess technically this would be curved. The reason I say it would be curved is because we live in real 3D space, and to do an actual drawing, we need to do a multi-point or even 5-point perspective to create an approximation with curved lines. I don't want to blow your minds too much, but that's kind of how we see things. So that being said, all right, much like I have this progression of ellipses here, we can also take the square that defines the circle, okay, that we had, our little system like this. We can move this square through 3D space. All right, so if I have, say, a nice tight 2-point perspective, let's just do 2-point perspective system here, and here's the roughly center of my view. I can draw a series of lines like so, and a series of lines like so. Okay, just like that. I can also do them like so. I'll show you why in just a sec. All right, so let's ignore these for now. Let's focus on these. So let's draw a square or approximation of a square in perspective. Got caught under my keyboard there. All right, so there's my square in perspective. If I divide this just like I had my square, oops, down below, right here, same divisions, right? We put our same marks on, we're gonna get something like this. So there's my first ellipse. It feels high up, right? Feels like you'd be looking up at this ellipse. And yes, you would be. Absolutely. Now let's draw a straight line like so. Again, I'm just assuming 2-point perspective here for simplicity's sake. Okay. And we can connect these. This is not like really, if you want this to be perfect, get a ruler, but we're just estimating with my drawing here. Okay. So something like this. So now we have another ellipse. All right, when I say something like this, I'm translating all these intersection and touch points to these planes. Now, I do have drawings on my channel that you guys can check out if you want. Actually, if you just search for ellipse, there are many videos. There's a couple popular ones though. There's this one and this one, this one. So I'll share these with you. Okay. This being the most popular of the bunch. Where'd my chat go? Where'd my chat go? Where my chat at? Right here, yo. Okay, so there's one on ellipses. All right. Here's another one. And it seems to be a common problem. I get it. They're kind of hard and tricky and weird. But if you're going to draw cars, robots, architecture, anything like that, having an understanding of how to draw ellipses, super helpful. All right, I am using a Papermate flare. That's what I use, and there's a link to the stuff I use. I'm going to replace the link to the Discord here. All right, so those links of it, again, if you're watching on Instagram, are available on the YouTube stream. All right, that's what's happening. So same thing here. I'll have like an ellipse here, like so. And if it were just above the horizon line or my eye level, right, we just basically have just a sliver of an ellipse. So you can kind of see progressively how these shapes are changing. And down below, if I were to do the same thing, right, I would have shapes like this and perhaps like so and like so. All right. So again, the degree of the ellipse is going to determine the relative openness, right? How I am situated relative to the thing, in other words. So going this way, this is why I drew these, right? We can do the same thing on the side. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4 points of tangency, about a third of the way in on these diagonals, which I've kind of guesstimated here. And there we'll have an ellipse. We'll have another ellipse here, something like that, and so forth. All right. And you can see these are reduced in size, but also degree. Okay, something like that. Now, that's one way to consider the degree, but the other way is as these planes move closer to that vanishing point. So I'll show you what I mean. Got two vanishing points here. Let's say we have some cube in an extreme perspective. As far as how to estimate the proportion of a cube in perspective, that's something that just takes time. And even then, someone like me who has experience, it's not always perfect, right? But one thing is, if you're working in 2-point, okay, so this is 2-point perspective. All these sketches, again, will be available to channel members and patrons as scans, high resolution scans with the notes and everything. So you'll be able to see those. Hello everyone on Instagram. You can join the YouTube stream if you want for a bigger screen experience. Okay, and better audio too. Okay, so if I were to, instead of looking at the sides here, think about a series of planes. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Give me a sec. All right. So a series of planes. Okay, so this is one plane, for example, where I'm making these lines a little bolder. Here's another plane right here. And let's make another plane right here. Okay, something like this. And if I were to construct these ellipses like so, what you're going to notice, and if we had another plane, for example, that were coming out this way, right? If I were to just extend this, just for argument's sake here, we're going to get a very extreme perspective, but let's just do it. All right, if I were to extend this one out now and do the same setup, the same things, again, roughly a third of the way in, it's kind of hard to estimate when you get these extreme perspectives, but I'm going to have an ellipse like this as opposed to, let's see, let's call this A, B, C, and D. Plane D here figuring out these intersections. What's the difference between these two ellipses? If you were to look at these, what's the difference? Right, there's two things. One, you have the overall height is different. And then two, we have the width. I'm calling it width and height, but really I'm talking about the length of the major and minor axes on these ellipses. Minor axis being determined by the central point of the ellipse projected all the way back to your vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2. Again, very messy sketch, but trying to be a bit more instructional, less than precise here. So hopefully you can see the relationship. All right, so there's that ellipse on the far right. And then I want to show you something, just a watch out for perspective drawing after I do this demo. I'm gonna give you a little bit of free knowledge. I don't usually tell people unless they've signed up for a workshop. All right, so here's my first ellipse here. All right, here's this other one. So as I compare these two, you'll notice not only scale, but the degree of that ellipse changes. So in theory, okay, again, in theory, theoretically, right? Let's say this is a 10-degree ellipse, and this is, I don't know, like a 65 or 70-degree. It's probably more like an 80-degree ellipse, all right? Eventually, you're going to get to 90 degrees, but at the same time, these ellipses would be really, really tiny, right? So theoretically, here is where you'd have a 90-degree ellipse, and it's going to be eventually a circle. That's why straight line perspective systems are a bit weird, because in reality, right, the perspective system or grid, you're going to have points along your horizon line that you could vanish to depending on the orientation of the object. But we're going to have a VP here, for example, and you end up with kind of this circular system, right? VP as well. All right, so 4 points, and then also a 5th point. All right, so if I were drawing something like, and these lines would curve, okay? Now, because of how our eyes are, we don't necessarily perceive these curves, okay? But if I were to draw a box, for example, okay, I could come out, actually, let me think about this. Pick a line on the horizon line, that's why it's tricky. Go down like so, but when I go down, this really should be a curve. Okay, so we end up with this kind of curved appearance, and then the vanishing lines go back to a point, like so. And on the back side, curved, and then straight to that point. All right, so when you make this scale even more, like you scale this up, it makes that perception of curvature less. A fun experiment, if you can do it, if you want to see, if you don't believe me, a fun experiment you can do is if you have a room in your house or somewhere, okay, if you have a room, and let's draw inside the room, like so, and you lie down on the ground however you want, however is comfortable for you. Lie down on the ground, okay? Maybe there's a nice little pillow behind your head. All right, and I want you to look up, okay, without rotating your head. Baby X, hello. We're talking about perspective drawing. I am a designer, artist, creator, and I like drawing. So we're talking about how to draw in perspective so you can make things look 3D with pen and paper and other stuff like that. So if I'm looking up, right, and it's even better if you have stuff on your ceiling, like maybe you have a drop ceiling, for example, in your house, right? Just lie down in the middle of the room, take a look up. And what you're going to see, if the room is big enough, what you're going to see is a slight curvature. Very, very slight curvature to these lines. Unless my eyes are messed up. I want you to try that experiment. Okay, so lie down, take a look up, and you'll see just a very, very slight curvature, right? You might, in your head, and we know this because we built it straight. In your head, you think, oh, this is straight. But then you look up at it, things have a slight curvature. Now, what I mean is you don't want your eyes to be dancing side to side and rotating your head to get more view, but just try and stay still, look up, and that's what you're gonna see in your room. Okay, so lie down, look up, and then watch for curvature. Okay, try that. See how it is. All right, so the last watch out. Can I tell you, Chiranjit? Not right now because I have to finish setting up, but I did just get this iPad Air, just showed up today, and I need to finish setting up. But I don't want to bore you guys with, you know, me typing in my password. And okay, maybe I'll do it after all. I suppose I'm notorious for that. I'll say I'm not gonna do anything, and then I'll do the thing. Okay, let's see if this works. Finally. All right. So, the other watch out I want to give you guys. Okay, let's say this is your perspective system. You've got your left vanishing point and your right vanishing point. Now, why is it saying my password's wrong? Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to start this over from the very beginning. And while I do the whole iPad thing here, it's asking me to hold it close to some other device. Okay, I think that was the mistake last time. So my iPad was locked. Okay, so now it should work. At least I hope so. Doing this live maybe wasn't a good idea, but hopefully you guys aren't going crazy. Ah, there we go. Unlock to continue. So I'm gonna unlock. All right, help me out here. Yeah, so now you get to watch me fumble around with this thing. Unlock to continue. Okay, continue. I think I need to reboot these, unfortunately, guys, and I don't want to waste your time. So 10-second sketch of a maid. We'll see. All right, so left vanishing point, right vanishing point. So there's a lot of places I could place, or positions I could place an object in this scene. Okay, so I could place something here, for example. All right, so I've got a nice little box floating here. I could also place it here, or a different object box, whatever. All right, but sometimes you might think, oh man, what if I draw something all the way over here? Well, what tends to happen is you get extreme foreshortening and distortion happening. Like, it's cool, and I'll just do 2-point perspective here. It's cool, right? And it's like, oh wow, you can barely see any of this side, and here's our object. So the closer you get to this left vanishing point, or right vanishing point even. Okay, if I were to do something here, for example. Sorry, right there. So the closer I get to my vanishing points, the more distortion I'm gonna have. Okay, so if you're doing architecture, a lot of architects like to do stuff like that. The other thing to watch out for, and I'll do this with my yellow marker. So pay attention to how close you are to the vanishing points. Okay, and then really there's what's called a field of view. So this is your field of view. All right, you may have heard that term before. Okay, you may have heard that term before, field of view. So this is my field of view. What you want to do is make sure the parts of your sketch aren't poking outside of the field of view, because this is where distortion happens outside. Okay, distortion is going to happen there. So just pay attention to whether literally or perceptually, as you're planning out your drawing, try to not place things outside here. Because when you do that, unless you have like tons of skill and you know exactly what you're doing, when you do that, things are going to feel really weird. So sometimes with car sketches, for example, you may see, I know this was about ellipses and I've totally gone off the rails, but you may see something like this. I'm trying to think of a way to do this. Is it like this? Or maybe it's a sketch where the front of the vehicle is something like this. If I were to map this out. Okay, there's just a high level of distortion here. And if I were to hazard a guess, this is starting to poke outside of the field of view. So it can be interesting in the sense that you're, because these lines now for the front of the vehicle need to be basically flat. So I'm not really able to plug in some information here to help me communicate what the vehicle is or what's happening with the design. So you want to pay attention to, okay, is this thing falling outside my field of view? Sometimes I even fall into that trap myself, and that's where I kind of have to cheat a little bit and fix something. Maybe we'll make it a Bugatti. Anyhow, so there you go. A couple little tidbits on perspective. Not everything I know about perspective, but there you go. Baby X, do you have a Twitter? I do have a Twitter. Here's some links to some socials. You guys can follow me out. Thanks for joining me today for Sketch Today Fan Friday. All right, so back to the warm-up now. This is our long, extended demo on perspective, distortion, ellipses, and so forth. So we talked about the relative position of things, how that affects the degree. Here's another example there. And of course, we started with the coffee mug. So the warm-up that I do, which I think this person was referring to, is that I draw some parallel lines, and then as I do this, you can either make these tangent or just create some overlap. But my goal is to progressively widen this line in relatively consistent increments or percentage of increment. I'm not perfect at it, obviously. That's why I warm up all the time like this. Okay, you could even set a standard for yourself and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. I'm going to do this in 10 steps. So you could say in 10 steps, all right, we're going to go from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess 9, technically 10 with the straight line. So in 10 steps, right, you want to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, or 90 degrees in those ellipses, right, as you move down the page. But again, pay attention to your minor axis. Now, if you can draw ellipses, if you can draw lines, you can draw a lot of different things. That's why in design, we practice those quite a bit. If you need help with that, if you need to see what that looks like, here's an example of an 80-degree ellipse. So I'm totally off. I need to be a little bit wider. My 90 degree here, actually, no, this should be 80, 70, 60, 50. My math was off. 40, 30, 20, and 10. And then I'll just do a straight line. But that's the goal, is to get those increments. So you can check them if you want. Say, okay, that feels pretty good. What's this? This is 75. We're not doing 75. This is 65. Not doing that. So 60. Let's take a look. That looks pretty good, actually. So there's a 60-degree ellipse, and there's my warm-up. So that looks pretty good. So with a bit of practice, okay, you can figure this out. It's 50. Cool. That looks pretty good too. 50 degrees. So you can always check if you have an ellipse guide. Check that out. I try not to rely on guides though. Right, there's a 70. That looks pretty good too. So I think I ran out of space on the 80 there. And like I said, 90-degree ellipse is a circle. That's why my labeling there was off. So just a little bit on ellipses. So as far as how to practice, it's really just about a cycle that happens in our heads. So we execute, right, or draw. So you draw something, whatever it is, and then you want to evaluate, right, or look, and then you want to think about it, right? Actually, this is more like see. So you want to see, think, you want to evaluate. Okay, is this right or not? I'm going to do a gut check against my experience, check against, I haven't seen the Ricky Gervais show, check against what I know, or I'm going to check against an ellipse template, and then I'm going to go, oh, okay, let me try that again. So that's how you improve, right? If you're not thinking, if you're not really looking and you're just drawing stuff on the paper, you're not going to get any better. Okay, so take some time, evaluate. Even as I do this, I'm like, okay, let me check what I did before, right? And how these stack up. How do these compare size-wise? So that's how you learn. That's how you get better. That's how you improve. All right. Ricky Gervais is hilarious. I just haven't seen his show specifically. Most of the time these days, actually, what I watch chess online because I used to play chess in high school, and I find it calming. I find it soothing. I have some people I watch online. All right, so there's my thing on ellipses. Let's see. Someone wants me to draw 11 from Stranger Things in 5 minutes. Wow. I think next week the topic is going to be self-portraits, so that might be a good one, actually. And the time is 5 minutes to do 11 from Stranger Things. I'm going to have to look at some reference here, but I think I can. I hope I can. I think I can. I hope I can. What is a word you cannot pronounce? Decision and astigmatism. Apparently I can't pronounce some of your names, so that's one of the things. All right, 5 minutes. Here we go. It's 1:35, at least where I'm at, and I've been tasked with drawing 11 from Stranger Things, and I'm going to use just a pen here. I don't usually draw a lot of people, so I hope I don't bungle this too much. Get this head shape down. And I am looking at some reference, guys. Alright, I feel like I need to pick up the pace, so let's keep this somewhat sketchy. Alright, here we go. Got some ellipse in. Not too worried about certain things here. Alright, time 1:36. Okay, we're doing alright. We're doing alright. We are doing alright. This kind of looks like Aang from, what do you call it? Avatar? The Last Airbender. So thanks as always for the suggestion, the challenge. See, I've got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. I think I need to switch pens here. Markers for some hair stuff. It is pretty good. Okay, I'm probably gonna go over 5 minutes here, but pretty close nonetheless. Will you accept 6 minutes? Will you accept 6 minutes? That is the question. Some things I need to tweak here. Shape of the head, I think I got off a little bit. And her nose. Oh, this is supposed to be blood too. That was the other thing. Alright, there you go. Real quick. Okay. A maid was requested. Oh my goodness. A maid. I mean, like, what are we talking about here? I don't want to do anything inappropriate. Alright, sticky art. Thank you for that. Like, if you're talking weird French made stuff, I'm not gonna do that. Thank you, Mecha Art. Yeah, I do try and do inks, you know, when I can, how I can. I think they're fun. They're expressive, deliberate. They force you to really just move through a drawing and commit to things. So certainly somewhat easy for me. I do them quite a bit. Mechanized or otherwise. All right, spider pumpkin.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right, maybe something like this here.
Among the most durable forms of decorative art to have survived from antiquity. Mosaics have survived.
All right, got our little stem. All right, let's see here. Our little spider feet. Yeah, so maybe we just have like a little busted out bit here, and then some pumpkin bits on the ground where it busted out. I don't know how much time I wasn't timing myself on this one, so you guys let me know if I'm up with the 5 minutes. Draw myself? I was gonna save that one for the, we're gonna do a self-portrait show, and I'm gonna paint a self-portrait of myself. So I'll probably do that on Sunday or Monday, because I am going camping this week, which I'm not exactly thrilled about, to be honest. You know, it's like camping. Who goes camping? But I got invited and I committed, so we're going camping. Alright, so maybe something like that. And then let's throw a quick shadow in. I like these 5-minute challenges. Maybe that could be a show where it's just like everything you request in 5 minutes. And it's like the best I can do. We would get a lot done. It would have to probably be largely black and white ink stuff, but we could get a lot done, I think, in a show. Alright, so there we go. Spider pumpkin. We have 11, masculine version, I guess. Camping is the best. Camping is like, it's like, you know what, life's too good. Let's have a rough time this weekend. Pumpkinhead or the Tall Man Phantasm were your favorite monsters. Ooh. 5 minutes is too easy. Boom, boom, boom. No, I mean, it takes time. Harley Quinn on skates. Oh my goodness. Harley Quinn. I can't do that in 5 minutes. No way. I mean, maybe I could. Maybe. Maybe I could. It would have to be like just a simpler drawing, perhaps. Let's see. Actually, let's do that. Just borrowing a bit from what we did in our little fashion week. I feel like I messed up there. Okay. She always has like... What do I want to do here? Like, I feel like she should be... Yeah, I'm gonna have to overlay this. See what I mean? I'm gonna have to overlay this already. But it's alright. Rough it out, and then I'll get the overlay in. No big deal. But I was trying to figure out, like, how do I get her to hold like some big, like, ridiculous mallet or something. So that's really what I was thinking of as I was doing this. I was like, she needs to be holding a mallet and like smiling or whatever. So I can do that, and then now come in. Actually, and I think having her looking at us would be better in terms of face. Quick check here. Okay. Let's see. Welcome again to the show. Thank you for these challenges. When in doubt, gerb it out. When in doubt, rough it out. Definitely rough it out when in doubt. Alright, I'm going to time myself now. I'll give myself 3 minutes. Three minutes, let's go. Let's go. Sketch Day Live. Thanks for joining. I gotta go feed my kids, by the way. Oh no, my battery died for my front camera. Sorry guys, hold up here. I'll turn this off. I actually got a different camera. It should have been here today, but was not available, or just didn't come in time. So oh yeah, I guess she does in that Birds of Prey movie, doesn't she ride on roller skates? She's like skating and stuff. I'm like not giving enough detail to these skates, but we're going quick here.
We're going to start to break the sample. They may break differently. I loved the look of it. And I also
All right. Woo! Put some stripes here.
We're gonna start with breaking.
Yeah, she has some. I think it's Daddy's Little Girl or whatever on her shirt, but I don't want to have to get into doing that, so I'm gonna avoid it. So there's my super fast Harley Quinn. All right, thanks guys for the suggestions. Here's where we're at today so far. Okay, let's do one more thing. Draw my logo. I'm not gonna draw my logo. 3D printer printing a version of me holding Covif. A coffee cup or Covif? I wonder what Covif tastes like. A cat on the side. Oh, and the printer has to be the size of a house. I guess we did do a whole perspective demo at the beginning, so we got about 15 minutes left for the stream that I'm doing today. Jack Skeleton. Oh, that's from another movie I've never actually seen. Hope you guys don't actually hate me. But that's from Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Pretty sure. Right? Skellington. Jack Skellington. Yeah, I mean, for that, I would probably just start with probably some shape like this. Be a little curve like so. And let's get his mouth and what I perceive to be his nose. So I'm not looking at reference per se for this one beyond what this character's main features are. Jack Skellington. How does he like to hold his hand? How many fingers does he have? Does he have 4 or 5? That I cannot tell. Hold please, conducting research. Hold please. Looks like he has 4 fingers, which is kind of weird. Well, let's go for it. I kind of like this quick reaction gestural sketching. It's fun to just kind of switch my brain off for a bit and just like go. So thank you. I don't know why he's looking at his hand, but he is. Okay, let's just deal with it. Doesn't he have like a hat or something? Some hat, perhaps bow tie. I swear he has a hat. I'm just trying to think how I'm gonna do the suit here. I'm just thinking out loud for myself, actually. But I have a plan on that. The eyes, it should be easy enough. And I've got these like marks. I'll just put these in place for now. I swear, does he wear a hat? I swear he wears a hat. I swear. Okay, that's Harley. Okay, I guess not. I guess not. Alright, I have an idea on how to finish out the back here. But yeah, I don't know what he's holding. He's got his hand up. Alright, no idea what he's holding. Why am I dropping frames? I'm dropping frames. Whenever I drop frames, I wonder what my kids are up to. Alright, so my plan for the suit, the outfit, was to just kind of fill it in with black. Like so. And then I will add whatever lines to make it a pinstripe that I need. I can fill in the eyes, his mouth. Like so. This is a pilot marker, by the way. That is a, what is it, the super color marker. The pilot. It's very toxic, even as I sit here in my studio with the door closed. I'm glad I drew today. Honestly, guys, I was feeling a little bit down today. I wasn't sure if I was gonna go live. Pardon me. Open my door so I don't die. You know, some days you just don't feel up to it, I will admit, but I'm glad I did. I always feel better after. Pardon me. I always feel better after I draw, so I am glad I came on. Thanks for being here. If you like it, definitely subscribe. Look forward to seeing you all next time. So for the stripes on the suit, I could do it two ways. I could go more opaque, I guess. I could, like, you know, just take this white pen, throw it down, and then now kind of get the front here. Add some lines. So a lot easier than me having to like go in and figure everything out. Does he have little things in his eyes? I don't know. Does he? When I say things, I mean like pupils. Does he have pupils or anything like that? Let me zoom out. I didn't realize I was so zoomed in. Does he have pupils? It is hard to tell. Or however he talks. I don't know, because I haven't seen it yet. I probably should. I mean, it came out like, what, 30 years ago or something? 20? 25 years? I don't ever dress up for Halloween, but I do quite enjoy making costumes for my kids. I mean, this year there's no trick-or-treating, though, so...
Imagination is what fuels human culture, and there's a loss of imagination and meaningful images, and so then there's a loss of meaning in life.
Alright, since I don't know what's on his shirt here, I'm just going to block out a little area, and then I'm just going to go ahead and shade just a little bit, something like that.
The stories aren't there of what happens when someone comes back from battle. There's a whole process of taking the frenzy out of it.
And I can use a little Sharpie here just to help define some things. I think he's got bones in his hands, but I don't want to, well, not that he has bones in his hands, but you know what I mean. I just don't want to have to draw every joint.
Because back to the half boy story, people are not supposed to be half alive. They're supposed to be fully alive. And to be fully alive means to have a connection to and a sympathy to the feminine in the world.
All right.
There's an ancient Greek myth that in the beginning, the first humans had 4 arms and 4 legs. they had lots of hands and stuff like that. But it was
Okay, guys, sorry about that.
and the gods didn't find it all that interesting, so they
Isn't it weird there's no trick-or-treating? Yeah, it is. It is kind of weird.
and so then
Man.
the halves are wandering around the world trying to find each other all the time.
It is kind of weird, but
And ever since then, the gods have been laughing a lot. and
we
they
soldier on.
have a lot to talk
That's what we do as humans.
And then people are in this state of loss and longing.
Alright, let's just create a quick texture on the background here.
They feel whole.
Just some lines. Since we're keeping it black and white today, feels right. Black and white feels right today.
Something about women and the feminine, and a woman can understand something about men and the feminine. And I'll go back
Jack Skellington.
from the sense when you have mythological education.
Alright, we're gonna bring it back to product design soon on the channel. Appreciate all you new people coming in, making suggestions. These are awesome. So on Sunday, we'll kick things off with Sci-Fi Sunday. Now, the stream on Sunday is likely going to be quite a bit later than today. The place I'm camping is like 4 hours away. So, yes, I'm gonna be far away. Should I even say that? What if I say I'm gonna be gone and then someone like breaks in to my house? Fortunately,
Because they'll imagine more of a world than the one that they're currently viewing.
just got a COVID warning on my phone. Fascinating. Alright, so if you're curious about the pens I use, all of that stuff. Hello, MMA Highlights. You're new. Welcome. We're just doing a little Jack Skellington here, requested by Brian. Is there a moon in this show? Should we do some sort of like crazy, creepy, weird moon? Oh yeah, there is a moon. And like weird ground things. I'm probably butchering this like everything. But I don't get the like full context, but hopefully you guys forgive me. Alright, so there's my Jack Skellington. From the Nightmare Before Christmas. Alright. Spaceship in the background. That'd be like universes colliding. Another reason I love this marker, besides the fact that it is the big fat marker, is you can actually refill it. Just take this off, like so. Got this ink. Should get a different dropper though. Can I show the pen I'm using? You know, you're in luck, good sir. I have this website called sketchaday.com, and on that website, like, I have links to all the stuff I use. So you can go there and you'll see all the material, gear, all that stuff that I use on my website. It's pretty cool. I don't dare pour this out, so I'm just gonna put some drops in here. Hopefully revive this thing, but I do like having markers that I can refill. Let's do a couple more here. So yeah, this weekend at some point, I don't know when, or next week, I will record my thoughts on the iPad Air, and I'll share that with you. Maybe after I get some time with it. Who knows? Maybe I'll love it enough to keep it. I don't know. But part of me wants to know, hey, is or can this thing replace an iPad Pro in my workflow, right? Where did I, oh, there it is. It's like, where did I put the nib? I always like to prime the nib if I can. Just put some ink in there. Get it all fresh and juicy. All right, boom. So now we can screw this back on. I should have, if all went well, I should have refilled my pen, my marker, sorry. Let's make sure our lid goes on properly. We don't need any accidents happening in the studio today. All right, boom. And let's put this away. What if the iPad Air just floats away? That would be something. That would be something. Maybe just the max storage option would float away. All right, so we did a Jack Skellington. We did this little pumpkin here. We have my attempt at 5. Harley Quinn. We covered, man, there's a ton of sketches and content here. We did ellipses, degrees of ellipses, some perspective stuff, showing you guys the difference. Things to watch out for as well if you're working with ellipses. And like I said, the homework, lie on the floor in the middle of a room without moving your eyes and try and pay attention to how these lines appear to curve, if they do at all. Maybe I'm just crazy, but there's a slight distortion to straight lines that you'll observe. That's all I'll say. All right. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out. We did it. We did it. All right. We did it. Much love to you. Is my camera working? Okay, my camera's working now. Woo, the battery died on my camera. So, thanks again. Special thanks. Much love to the patrons. Thanks for hanging on Instagram if you did. Next time, check out the YouTube. youtube.com/sketchaday.com is where you want to go. If you're looking to contribute. Oh, and I should mention, I totally forgot to put together my welcome slide here, but we did have a new patron this week, and I just want to say special thanks and shout out to Crystal, our new patron. Thanks for joining. Hopefully, if you're watching, hit me up for your sticker. I'll be mailing that to you, or your free copy of 500 sketches, whichever you like. Just a little perk, and thank you for signing up. Also, if you're a channel member and you haven't gotten your perk yet, definitely let me know. Hit up the Discord. That's sketchaday.com/discord. Check that out. This week, I believe we're going to be doing self-portraits and portraits in general. I'll be doing some painting, drawing with pencil, pen, that kind of thing. Super fun. So we will do that. Maybe a quick demo on heads, at least the knowledge I have. Like I said, I'm practicing in the background, working on my stuff at the same time. My skills, if you will. I was just looking for this book. Oh, here it is. This book that I've recommended before. It is Figure Drawing, Design and Invention. You can find information on that book at sketchaday.com/books. Okay, sketchaday.com/books. That's where you can go, and you'll see that book listed there as well, and a few others. All right, so thanks, Crystal. Thanks to the new members as well. Hit me up for your rewards. That being said, have a wonderful Friday. I hope you guys have fun and relax. I'm definitely going to relax now and chill. Thanks so much for the suggestions as well. It made this so much better. And like I said, I'm feeling a lot better today. So I appreciate it, certainly. And I hope you guys do. All right. Take care. Peace and love. Remember, passion is a process. And I'll see you next time right here on Sketchaday.